What do you get when you combine a passion for watchmaking, a keen eye for design, a sprinkle of powdered glass, and 800 degrees Celsius? You get your mind blown. Meet the new Feu Enamel collection from Selten. If you're hearing about them for the first time, Selten is an independent brand based out of Hong Kong. In German, Selten means rare or uncommon, and this reflects the company's philosophy of making uncommon, non-stereotypical timepieces. Following the success of the M1 Moon phase that I reviewed, Selten has come up with the new Feu Enamel collection. This is the brand's most elevated watch to date and their first Métis d'Art piece. And God, this thing is hot. The Feu Enamel is available in 5 colors and 2 finishes, giving us 10 total dial options. This one is the Moonstone with the spiral motif. This is a delicate metallic blue-grey dial with a captivating pattern comprising over 700 hand-etched spirals. And it's an absolute work of art. I've spent more time staring at this dial than at my computer screen. That would have been a good thing, except I'm supposed to be working. Uh-oh. Jokes aside, the dial is honestly captivating. The spiral motif seems to have a life of its own. It also interacts uniquely with light, appearing lighter in some and darker in other places. If you see any minor imperfections on the surface, it's because these spirals have been etched by hands, not by some machine. A craftsman has literally spent hours on each dial, making it even more endearing to me. Now, I'm a big fan of the overall aesthetics here, including the handset, with the observatory style hour hand, a straight long minutes hand, and the heat blued seconds hand. The hour hand has a polished finish along the inner circumference, which is easy to overlook but adds a touch of refinement. Another design element I enjoy is that the minutes and second hands curve towards the edge. Looks pretty cool. Lastly, the stamped hour markings are elongated, unobtrusive, and classy as hell. Now the watch is housed in a steel case that's 39mm in diameter by 45.5mm lug to lug with a thickness of 10.9mm. The lug width is a standard 20mm and the watch is water resistant to 50 meters. So it can be worn every day and it looks great on most wrists out there. Here it's on my wife's 5.5-inch wrist and here on my friend's 6.5-inch wrist. The watch does appear a bit thick at first, but that feeling disappears when it's on the wrist. Kinda like my sense of financial responsibility. Anyway, I never felt that the watch was chunky when I had it on. It wears well and feels comfortable, even slim, especially on the bracelet. That said, 10.9mm is still a bit on the thick side, especially for a time-only watch. This heft is due to 2 reasons. The enamel dial, which takes more real estate than a normal dial, and the movement. For the first time, Selten is using a Swiss movement in their watch, the Soprod M100. This Sellita alternative is an automatic movement that beats at 4 Hz, has a power reserve of 42 hours, and features hacking seconds. But the best part is that Selten have regulated it in 5 positions and claim an accuracy of plus or minus 6 seconds a day. In real life, I observed it to be running just about 1 second fast per day. For comparison, a steel Christopher Watt 12 has a stated deviation of plus or minus 20 seconds a day. Selten also offer the option to have an engraved rotor for an extra $100. I think the engraving looks beautiful and adds a personal touch, but feels a little unnecessary, especially because most of the party is happening on the front of this watch. And to make sure the party is clearly visible, the brand has added several layers of anti-reflective coating on the inner side of the dome sapphire crystal. The crown for winding and setting time is knurled, but still a little small. By no means is it hard to operate, but my grubby hands would have liked a slightly bigger or grippier crown. Now the watch comes on a very nice has no bounds leather strap by default, with the option to add a bracelet for $80, or for the first time for Selten, a brand new bracelet with on-the-fly micro adjust for $150. The leather strap is nice and comfortable, although I did have to punch an extra hole for it to fit on my skinny wrist. Coming to the bracelet, for me, having on-the-fly micro adjust is a must-have, so I'm happy to see it here as an option. In my opinion, this upgraded micro adjusting bracelet is really nice. It takes a little bit of practice to get used to the micro adjusting mechanism, but it works smoothly once you get the hang of it. The clasp is of the double folding variety with spring-loaded action on either side. If I were to buy the watch, I would probably get it with the bracelet. If you do get bored of it, you can always swap it out for the strap. And as you can see, you can literally swap it out in under 5 seconds thanks to the quick release bracelet and straps. Selten watches also come with 2 sets of lug holes to accommodate straight or curved spring bars. There's just so much attention to detail with this micro brand, I love it. But all these features come at a price. While Selten had all previous watches right around the $600 to $800 price, this collection is significantly higher, starting at $1,900. If you go for the spiral dial, engraved rotor and micro adjusting bracelet, you're looking at $2,500. So I'm not gonna deny it. That's some serious dough. Whether you want to spend 2 to 2.5k on a micro brand is your decision. But consider this. There's basically no other handmade enamel dial watch with a regulated Swiss movement and a refined bracelet anywhere close to this price. You want an enamel dial watch from Anordain? That'll be double the price and you'll get your watch sometime between now and the heat death of the universe. Seriously, you'll be lucky to put down a deposit today and get the Anordain in 2028 or 2029. Personally, I would never put down a deposit for a watch I won't see for 4 years. That money in the stock market would likely double in the same amount. But hey, I literally spend my time drooling over frivolous man jewelry, so I'm not the best person to dish out financial advice. With Selten, you could have one of the first 100 Founders Edition pieces on your wrist next month. And honestly, this just might be worth it. This is one of the most hypnotically beautiful watches I've ever seen, at any price. The red spiral's already sold out, and I don't think the others will stick around for too long. If you're interested, I suggest you act soon. Would I get one of these? No, I don't think so. Wait, who entered my card details on the website? As you can tell, I'm super tempted by this watch and may end up with one if it doesn't sell out. I'll keep you guys posted. But before I buy any watch, it's gotta be wife approved. So let's hear my wife's thoughts on the enamel collection. Okay, Mrs. Watchout, you're up. What do you think of this watch?
Selten really hit the mark with these watches. Their enamel detailing is on point. My personal favorite is the lavender, of course. But with this dusty metallic blue, they've really done well, from the spiral design to the way the enamel shines in the light. One criticism I have is just the leather strap that it's on. I don't know if it would have looked better with a darker leather shade, or maybe just a different thread pattern, maybe a navy to match the seconds hands. But altogether, it's a lovely watch.
Fair enough, I agree with most of your points. But now, I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think of Selten and these watches? Would you buy one? If yes, which color? Let me know your thoughts. A big shout out to Leo for lending me this watch. You may or may not receive it back, Leo, I can't lie. And if you enjoyed this video, please help me out by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost $1, but it's priceless to me. Anyway, that's enough from me. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Take care. And for heaven's sake, don't put powdered glass in your oven, unless you're Selten, of course.
And that's